News broke a week ago that the Premier League are considering changing their rules by closing the transfer window before the season starts. This has got me thinking, why do we have a transfer window to begin with? Supposedly, according to Wikipedia, the transfer window was brought in response to negotiations with the European Commission and in hopes that it would improve team stability to reassure clubs who would have been perhaps fearful of losing their key players all year round. For example, Eric Cantona was bought by Manchester United in November of '92 from Leeds, a team now that I have no idea which English division they're in now. The transfer window was brought in to stop possible spiraling out of control transfer fees and to prevent football agents from searching for deals all year round. The exact regulation and possible exceptions are set up by each competition's governing body rather than the national football, i.e. FIFA. This basically means each national football associations, in this case the FA, decides on the time such as the dates of the transfer window, but it may not exceed 12 weeks. So basically 3 months in the summer from June to the 31st of August and on some occasions the beginning of September. The second transfer period occurs during the middle of the season and cannot last more than 4 weeks. Supporters of the transfer window would argue it does protect smaller clubs who have some in-demand players, as they cannot be snapped up by predator clubs at any time. As with this system, from September the 1st or February the 1st, their players cannot be poached in the immediate future. Supporters have argued that this system has limited clubs buying their way out of trouble towards the end of the season by stopping clubs with large resources at their disposal from purchasing extra players to get them out of trouble or to success. This way, with set periods when teams can purchase players, means that clubs will have to plan more carefully and, in a sense, work towards a long term future. Many have argued that it's also given more youngsters a chance of first team football, as managers cannot splash the cash to cover an injury crisis. For example, when Anthony Martial got injured during a warm-up session ahead of the Europa League tie, Louis van Gaal brought in Marcus Rashford, and you know the rest is history. Had there not been a fixed transfer schedule, who knows, LVG may have not brought him into the starting squad as he could have gone out and spent the money on a proven striker. And finally, transfer deadline day has become a big part of our football culture, well, at least in the UK. Just like the Ballon d'Or award, it has become a sideshow that has gripped us all. I remember staying up late to watch Sky Sports transfer deadline day to see Manchester United sign Dimitar Berbatov, and even a few years ago, waking up to find Vladimir Falcao was on a plane to Manchester, and then seeing the yellow breaking news sign that Manchester United are in talks with him genuinely left me speechless. Deadline day has definitely become a holiday for football fans, as you see supporters celebrate deadline day signings like they would have if they had won a trophy. It's why you see Arsenal fans taking to the streets around the Emirates Stadium to celebrate at that time their club record signing Mesut Ozil from Real Madrid. But even that has gone too far, as Sky Sports are now overdoing it with this yellow theme shit. So there we have it. Those are all the valid points that I can think of and find in defense of the transfer window. Now let's assess the negatives of the transfer window. First and most important reason as to why the transfer window should be scrapped or most definitely improved upon is because football is now a global sport. And because of this, you couldn't have a universal transfer window, as leagues like MLS, China Super League, leagues in Africa all play and have their transfer windows at different points in the year. Even in Europe, the Russian transfer window is different from England's, Sweden, and Norway's. The transfer window was designed to stop the spiraling transfer fees and to limit spending power of big clubs. And if you've been paying attention, then it has definitely not worked. Right now, PSG has spent a world record fee, nearly 200 million for Neymar, and over the years, the transfer record has been broken year after year. The Premier League has already spent over a billion, and at the time of this recording, the window hasn't yet closed. 12 clubs have already broken their transfer record during this window alone. Arsenal just bought Lacazette for 52 million. Everton bought Sigurdsson for 45, and even Chelsea have broken their record by signing Morata for 58 million pounds. And to be fair, in this climate, that's a bargain. And by the looks of this number, it would only increase every day until the transfer window shuts. Even Pep Guardiola admitted that the current spending of the league is unsustainable, And this is coming from a man that has spent 400 million over the last 12 months. 100 million on fullbacks, 50 million on Kyle Walker. Talk about wasting money. So as you can see, if halting clubs spending wild amounts of money was their aim, then they have certainly failed at that. Originally brought in to instill stability to clubs who would have been nervous of losing their key players throughout the season. However, the transfer window and deadline day have only served to increase the sense of insecurity and instability for clubs, especially smaller ones. As a result, they have failed to fulfill their initial purpose. For example, key players from lower clubs can still get poached during the middle of the season and leave their former teams high and dry, obviously making that team enter into a panic buy where prices are inflated as there isn't enough time to scout replacements and get the right deal. Many managers have criticised the current transfer system. Arsene Wenger has called for the January transfer window to be scrapped in favour of a return to the previous system in which players can move freely, or at least limit it to 2 signings. The following year, Wenger hit out at Manchester United's £37 million signing Juan Mata from Chelsea. Wenger argued that the transfer was unfair because United and Chelsea had already played each other twice during the season, but United will still have to play against Arsenal, and he said, I quote, "The rules should be adapted more for fairness." Manuel Pellegrini and Pochettino have also called for the January transfer window to be scrapped. In January 2015, the FIF Pro, the worldwide representative organization for 65,000 professional footballers, said that the current transfer window system is failing football and its players. One of the main issues being that players are released from clubs without explanation or compensation. And my final point, one that I think every football fan would agree upon, is the fucking annoying transfer rumours throughout the summer period and throughout January, which, by the way, a lot of them are straight up lies to generate clicks. Most notorious is the Daily Mail, The Sun, Bleacher Report, and Jim White and his so-called sources. I'm still waiting for Bernardo to fucking land in Manchester. It's been 3 fucking years and I've never heard of a flight taking that long. Now, I'm not saying that these rumours wouldn't exist without transfer windows, but Windows increases fake news circulating the web, especially as deadline day approaches. Deadline day is full of fictional sightings. Just because Sanchez was in Paris doesn't mean that he was speaking to PSG representatives. The transfer window saga at times is entertaining, especially deadline day, seeing my club sign quality players and sending shit players like Danny Welbeck to Arsenal, seeing him derail any chance of them winning any trophies. But as a whole, the transfer window definitely needs to be changed. It causes teams to panic buy close to deadline day and leaves them with an inadequate squad. For example, last year, Hull City had a very small squad, and because the transfer window was shut, they couldn't increase their size. And for those who were forced to sell late in the day, i.e. Liverpool and Tottenham, when they sold Suarez and Bale, and because of that, they only had a small period of time where they were forced to sign shit players, with the exception of Ericsson, obviously. Now, I'm not saying that we should completely ban the transfer window, but I do think this current system is outdated. Maybe there should be one long transfer window which starts from June all the way to December 31st for every league in the world in order to achieve a universal transfer window. But hey, that's just an idea. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a like, comment below, and for more videos like this, subscribe to my channel. Peace.